Hey Maria, back with another video. It's about, let's see, 5:53. In about 7 minutes, my alarm's gonna go off. I went to bed pretty early, and I'm glad I did. I have to get ready to go to my piece of shit job, so doing what I can to get ready for that. Just probably gonna wear a pair of pants today. So I was thinking last night, and like I said, I was reading a while ago about people who dealt with trauma, and when they haven't fully resolved something in their mind, it kind of starts to sort itself out, and I'm going back to these timelines like I was talking about, and I was thinking about when I was working at H.M. Holloway, and I went to go visit Polly one day because I kept thinking something is really going on weird, like I was being asked questions about religion all the time. So something kept saying, I need to go see Polly. So that was like the last time I ever talked to Polly. I walked to her door, she opened the door, we started talking, and she was becoming very snippet and evil with me. And she asked me about why I didn't have a house, why wasn't I buying a house, why wasn't I doing all these things. Then she asked me how much I made a month, and I said I just started a job, and she asked me how much I made, and she said, wow, you make too much money. And I remember going back to work, and then I got fired. Bard fired me. Now, this is where I'm getting the Laura Hill connection, and Polly did ask me about my religion when I was there. Okay, I believe that my Polly and Laura Hill are in cahoots, and then somehow or another, Laura Hill thought that it was something legal to make Polly grant her some sort of permission. Nobody has any permission over me, so I'm thinking that this is where the connection, is made. I don't have anything to do with Polly. Polly is not anybody to me. She never will be anything to me, whether I was legally married to Piggy or not. Okay, it doesn't matter. Piggy has no authorization over me. That is all illegal. My blood relations have no authorization over or legal rights over me. Only thing that is set up is null and void. Now, I will also say that after I left VIPO, I don't know how I got the VIPO job, but I do believe all these people are interconnected. Okay, because VIPO did not match any of my needs. I mean, it was not, after being off from work from H.M. Holloway, then they gave me a job that paid less, so then that already creates a problem, and then, which was stupid. And so then I left, and I realized what was going on. I kept thinking, okay, somebody is manipulating my employment. And the way the atmosphere was so thick at VIPO that I was becoming very sick, and I left. I just left altogether. And I started thinking that Piggy was having an affair with the girl at Murray Family Farms. I thought he was having an affair with Selena, because I felt as though that Selena was involved in it somehow, some way. My brain, I'm going back in this timeline. Now, this is so weird, but I know Selena has something to do with my employment. Okay, at the time, everything was really scrambled, okay? So, now, where's all this going? Okay, so then I went back to Lancaster, got a job through this agency, and it was kind of a shady agency. I don't even remember going in. I met him, David, a guy named David from Relativity Staffing at a luncheon or something. All the paperwork was handled online, okay, which is usually kind of strange, but anyway. So I got this job that really didn't match my skill level, like, at all. It didn't match my skill level in the least. It was like a reconciliation job, okay? And so I kept thinking, okay, how is it, now that I'm thinking this morning, I kept thinking, okay, somehow or another, Piggy or Polly, somebody who was living here in Bakersfield while I was in the Antelope Valley, was still manipulating my work. How could that be? How could that be that they would think that they had any sort of entitlement as to what I was supposed to do? They have no entitlement of what I do, ever. Okay? So they were still trying to latch on to what I was able to do, even when there was no agreement that Piggy and I were going to live together. That is insane, okay? So right now, Piggy's living with me. I look at him as a roommate, period. I don't look at him as my husband. He is not my husband. I will not recognize him as my husband because I am very suspicious of my legal document. My marriage document is legal. It is recognized by the state of California. It would be upheld in any state in the country. If I was to move, let's just say, for example, we were a happy, smiley couple, and we moved to, Texas, or we moved to New Jersey, or we moved to New Mexico, or something weird like that, okay? Because it's a legal marriage certificate. Now, if somehow or another here in this corrupt town, she ended up getting it annulled, which anything could happen in this town because nobody pays attention to any laws, then we're not legally divorced. Because there's so much mystery shrouding it, I'm going to say that we're not, okay? Because Polly kind of gave me an indication that that's what she did. So you know what? Since everything's shrouded in mystery, I'm going to look at it as if we're not married. So with that being said, I'm not married to Piggy. I'm going to somehow get his name off I will not legally be his Graham for very long. I am by common use, I'm using my maiden name because I was thinking, okay, what is going on? Why is everybody telling me to change my last name? I just thought, okay, I'll go ahead and change my last name because a few months ago, but now I'm thinking, these people are crooks and criminals. No, I'm not going to. My name is Gordon, and I can legally do that, and that's what I'm going to be recognized as. That's how I will introduce myself. And as far as legal documents, I have to use that name. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to obviously contact the Social Security Administration as well as the DMV. I'm not sure if I could even bother getting divorce proceedings done. I will do the best I can because right now that's not my main goal. My main goal is getting out on my own. So what happened here is that Polly and Piggy have no right. Okay, Polly is somebody who is extremely jealous because she's in love with her son. And I don't know, that's pretty much all I know. And I think it's very strange and it's very weird. And, she doesn't have any right to dictate what I make for a living. Polly's very jealous, okay? So she probably thought, well, she's making all this money, and that made her jealous and whatever. And I'm just like, I can't even, it's so stupid. But I'm not involved. I'm not interested in getting in any love triangle with something that's not supposed to exist in the first place. So, I just had to record that because that was a thought that I had in the back of my mind. Just early this morning, I woke up, and then all this was swirling in my head because this is an issue that needs to be resolved, and I believe that makes sense, and those would be in the correct timeline. So, I wish he'd pack his bags and just go and be with his mom. It makes sense, you know what I mean? It's like it would make more sense. Because when we first moved in this house, I was the one who came up with the deposit, the last month's rent. I came up with all of it, okay? So this basically, it seems like he should be the one to move out, is really what he should do. Because he really should, because basically I'm the one who covered basically everything, okay? Now, I'm not putting any pressure on him to move out, okay? But I will say this: he's not my husband, and that's just the way it is. I will not recognize him as my husband. I will not. I will not acknowledge him. I will not pay him any attention. We're not married, period. So I won't acknowledge it. So that is really important for me to say. And so there was no excuse for, if they thought, oh, well, she said that she was half black and whatever, so I have the right to manipulate her employment. No, you don't. What you need to do is you need to invite me over to your house. We need to have a discussion, and we could either agree to have the marriage annulled or whatever. It has nothing to do with work issues, okay? That's completely illegal, and it doesn't even make any sense, okay? It's got nothing to do with work, okay? So, also, if she was upset because I never told her I was a genius, that's another thing. Bring me over to your house, let's talk it out, and I will tell you, and that's it, okay? We could, get a divorce or whatever. I mean, however you want to handle that. which I don't think anybody that really warrants getting a divorce, but, not being satisfied with somebody's racial background, some people will find it that way. Whatever the case is, none of this has anything to do with work, not one bit, okay? Because it relates to your marriage,